Hello everyone, my name is Julie and I am one of Christian Assembly's Kingdom Partners, and it is a privilege as always to be able to send this message to you today for the Daily Touch Point. Our reading for today comes from Numbers chapter 30 and I encourage you to read it. I actually want to speak for a few minutes about the Psalm series we've been going through and have been really encouraged to be able to connect through the online service, even though I'm 10,000 miles away from Los Angeles. And a few weeks ago, Pastor Mark, he was teaching from Psalm 23, which is a familiar passage of scripture for many, but one that we go back to often just because of the richness of the promises of the words within the text. And as he was reading Psalm 23, I was actually walking through a field and he said, "Repeat after me, the Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need." And so as I'm saying, the Lord is my shepherd, I have what I need. I was walking in the middle of sheep and cows and watching them graze and enjoy the sunshine. And I was thinking about the comparison. I mean, I didn't have to really imagine too much because I was right in the middle of it, of these sheep and the ways that they were getting what they needed for the day, that there was a shepherd who had led them to a field where they were being provided for and taken care of so that they wouldn't go astray. And the text from there, it doesn't just talk about that God gives us what we need. And when we say that, I think that we have to be careful not to think that when the Lord's, when there's the promise that I will have everything that I need, or, the resting in that it doesn't mean that everything that the world says that we need, that we will have. It doesn't mean that everything that the world says will lead towards our happiness or our accumulation of things is what is promised in this. And living in Kenya, I've seen my neighbors pray literal prayers for daily bread, and I've watched how God has taken care of them little by little, even when it felt at times like it wasn't enough. And this resting in the goodness of God, that He sees and knows and hears and loves us. It's really, I think it's transformational when we begin to live our lives like that the God who promises to be with us, to walk through the good and the bad, through the things that feels like it's too much and too hard, that God has promised to not abandon us, to not leave us, like a good shepherd doesn't leave its sheep. This week I was in our Eldoret hospital and I was sitting with moms of children going through chemotherapy, and because my children also have gone through tremendous medical treatment, I was sitting with them and we were sharing just the struggles, the challenges, how hard it feels at times. And we were reminding one another that God is with us, that as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we're not promised certain outcomes, but we're promised that God will be with us. And we were just sitting and there were tears, there was prayer, there was hope. But I was grateful that we were able to share that together. And I was also reminded just of how the generosity of CA, that you helped us to be able to create a space that is now serving these people, these children, these families who need to be reminded that God is with them. And so I want to remind you today, whatever you may be walking through, that God has promised to be with us, and that He's promised that goodness and mercy will be following us all of the days of our lives, and that we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So I pray that you will be encouraged. I pray that you will be reminded today of the loving kindness of God that is for us.